journey. I am very excited and blessed to be here. Thank you so much, the Foundation Center, for bringing this topic to our awareness and making us come together to realize how important it is that we really are looking at how to help our Black males succeed. So thank you so much for bringing me here. I am a newlywed, and you may be wondering, number one, how do you follow those two? Number two, obviously I'm not an African-American male, so what do I have to add to this conversation? I am lucky to be married to a wonderful father, great, strong Black man who I learn from every day on why things like this are so important to our community. And like she said, any tips you have, because I know that my stepson's getting ready to become a teenager, please see me during networking because I am taking notes and I'm very excited about that journey, to say the least. But I really am here to talk about the work we do at the President's Council Foundation and a little bit about our programs and what we have found to be 3 key areas to ensure that our young Black males are succeeding and moving past what they're seeing in their neighborhoods. So the President's Council Foundation, as Cindy said, focuses on research and education in Northeast Ohio's African American community. We do that through 2 programs, one called Emerging Entrepreneurs that works with up-and-coming Black entrepreneurs. The second is our PC Scholars program, and that's the one I really want to focus on. That program works with 10th, 11th, and 12th grade African American males and females, mainly in the Cleveland School District, but also we're starting to slowly roll out to some of the inner ring suburbs. And we meet with these students 2 Saturdays a month from November through June, and we focus sessions on Saturday mornings on 4 areas: academic achievement, because we know that our kids need some guidance and support there; career preparedness, need the same thing, life skills, and also leadership skills. So all sessions are based off of those 4 areas. So let me tell you the 3 areas, and I hope you're taking notes, that are important when we're working with these kids. Consistent support systems is critical to make sure that our young males and females are succeeding. A positive role model that looks like them is even better, but somebody that's positive in their lives. And also, helping them really getting them exposed to different views, ideas, people. So it goes back to a little bit of what Tim and I were talking about too, exposing these kids, getting them to think differently about the world that they're in. So I want to share a couple stories of some of my boys, and you'll see some pictures of our kids in action. There's some great kids. They're my babies, I have to admit. I see them from when they're 15 years old up until they graduate from high school, and then I get to have them pop in my office when they're off to college and see what they're doing, so it's really fun. My first one I'm going to talk about, they're a pair of brothers, and the older brother, Devon, who is now at Cleveland State, learning to be a mechanic, but not just a mechanic, how to own his own auto body shop and mechanic shop. So it's exciting to see him open his eyes to how to be an entrepreneur, how can I make a better lifestyle for myself. Well, he recruited his younger brother into the program when he was a senior. His younger brother entered as a sophomore. And to say that he was a challenge may be a little bit of an understatement. Different personality. We realized that it was probably one of his coping mechanisms to kind of lash out, be quiet, don't interact in the sessions. And there was a point where we thought, should we even keep him in our program? Is he going to lash out at one of his other students? Do we take that chance? And we made the decision, yeah, we need to keep him. It's important because obviously he's missing some of those 3 areas that I talked about in his life. So we did keep him, ended his first year. Oh, is he going to come back? We don't know. I remember sitting in my office and my program director came and she's like, I don't think he's coming back, but we'll see. So junior year comes around, guess who shows up? First one there in the morning. He's there, excited, not as combative, smiling when he walks in. I almost didn't know who this kid was. His story is just amazing to me because when he first joined us too, he wanted to test video games. That's what he wanted to do with his life because he loved to sit in front of the TV and play video games all day. This kid is now a senior. He's active in our program, wants to be a chef in interculinary school. So for me, seeing his journey from being a 15-year-old young man who was completely lost and didn't know what to do, and exposing him to different opportunities, to different people, because part of our organization is made up of some of Northeast Ohio's largest Black-owned businesses, and some of those business owners have come from the same backgrounds that these individual young men have come from. So to learn their journey and hear from them too was critical. So the exposure, the support system. He came to those sessions, and I truly believe, and he'll admit it if you pull him over to the side quietly, he loved the fact that he was surrounded by the same people for 3 years, both his peers, but also the staff of our organization and the mentors. So it was that consistent, positive role model, that great support system, and having the chance to expose him that I really think changed his trajectory of where he's going. The second story that I want to share is William, who I just adore William. I can say his name because he's in my organization's video. I talk about him all the time. He's a great kid. His mother adopted him. Didn't really have a father involved in his life. His mother decided to get him involved in our program because she thought it was good for him to see some positive role models in his life. William is a class clown, and sophomore year, it was very hard to get him to focus because he was the class clown. So he thought that's what he needed to do in sessions. He thought he needed to joke around and not take things seriously. You know, one of those kids were like, are we really touching you? Is this what we're doing? And William is always the first one to volunteer for any of my events, the first one in my office to help me stuff bags getting ready for a fundraiser, the first one to volunteer to speak on a video about his story and why this program has been helpful to him, and to thank me constantly because I just love him, so he has to, he knows better. But he's a great kid. He's getting ready to graduate in a couple weeks. He's going to be studying chemistry. He was deciding between Bowling Green and Toledo, leaning towards Bowling Green, so we're really excited about that. But the same thing, he was exposed to different ideas. One of the things that he has talked about that he loves is we do a day of caring every year with our kids. So we thought that it was really important that we bring our students together and we go out into the community and we give back for one day. This year we're actually in the Garden Valley area working with Rebuilding Together, and it was an amazing experience to see all of our boys come together and our young women to change how this community looked. We did landscaping. I mean, it was manual labor. I have pictures of how dirty I was that day and all of our kids. We got stuck in the rain. We had hot weather. It was like the gamut of everything you could possibly think of. But he was landscaping. We were painting foundations of these homes. And one of his favorite things that he has said to me is that I didn't know how important it was to give back, how that could really change my life. And now, you know, he is studying chemistry, but he also knows how important it is to volunteer and how that is just such a critical component in his journey. So, you know, those exposure in the systems and the positive role models, I think it's great for our kids. I recently was in a meeting with a wonderful woman from Tri-C, and you know, we get in these meetings, we start brainstorming about all the different things that we can do to help our kids. What can we be saying to them? What can we be doing? And she has this line that I use it all the time now, and anyone who's talked to me recently or who has worked with me, I know my staff is so sick of hearing about it, but she asked the student, what do you want to be when you grow up? I kind of paused for a second. The answer he gave is just so critical, and I hope that you guys think about this when you're thinking about the work you're doing in the community. Don't ask me what I want to be until you show me what my options are. How amazing is that? And that goes back to what we need to do as a community to really change where we're going, to change the face of Northeast Ohio. I'm very passionate about this. I love the work that I do at the President's Council Foundation. I love impacting students. I love impacting business owners and bringing people together, have conversations. So if you take two things away, it's those 3 areas in your programming, the work that you do, expose them to different views, create strong support systems that are consistent. I think that's critical because a lot of our kids are not seeing consistent people in their lives. And then also being a positive role model. But the quote again, don't ask me what I want to be until you show me what my options are. Okay? Thank you so much for having me.